my first relationship, my first love when I was 17, 18, yeah, I had my girlfriend involved in every single thing that I wanted to do. Now as an adult, like you're there, but you're not in the actual, you know what I'm saying, like bullet points. In between, we'll get married, we'll go on vacation, we'll do this, do that. But for me to say, oh, I'm gonna invest into property and I'm gonna have you manage this property and have you do this and have, what if she don't want to do that? What if she ain't even good at it? You know what I'm saying? So to tell women, because I'm assuming that's who he's talking to tell women that, in my opinion, is a hell of a reach, and he pandering like a motherfucker. Because I think most men aren't going to include a woman in every single thing that they have planned in life. And I would assume that most women wouldn't want that. They will want to be involved, but not for every single thing to be in that bullet point. So I don't agree with what he said whatsoever. Maybe because he looks young, and since he's still young and haven't experienced life or whatever the case may be, he thinks that way. But yeah, I mean, look at him. You know, it, I that logic doesn't make sense to an adult male that have had experience behind his belt. So to tell women that, I think is misleading. But I do agree, if at no point there's a date set to, okay, we're going to take this to this next level or whatever the case may be, then okay, sure, maybe. But if he's giving you a rundown, you say, hey, what are your plans in the next 5, 10 years? And he only includes you one time in that, or he doesn't include you at all, that doesn't mean that he sees you to be a short-term person. That just means he's focused on his goal and which you should want. So I think, me personally, I think dude is pandering to his audience. But
So
that's
I
just
feel like what I'm hearing, Viz, is the younger men who are dating, who kind of sound like they have entrepreneurial ADHD, is saying, oh, we're going to include the lady in this, that, and everything. But a grown man who's got experience after the fact with his lady is going to play to her strengths and may not necessarily include her in everything, to summarize what you were saying, right?
essentially.
Yeah. Okay. I would agree with that then. Yeah. I see that. I see that.
Yeah, I know, and I guess kind of piggybacking off of the love bombing thing. So I know a guy that he was dating this one chick, and he had her as his screensaver on his phone. Now, mind you, it wasn't just like a regular picture; it was a
What?
provocative picture, of her like in a bra and panties or like a swimsuit type of deal. And as soon as seen it, I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, bro, I'm bullshit. This is just a flex, you know what I'm saying, to make her think that he's serious and committed and not fucking around with nobody else. Like, boy, that's the oldest trick in the book, that you pull, you know what I'm saying, with a broad that you're not serious about, that you still playing around with. So I think dude, the young man that gave this message, I think that he's feeding into women that look for that as validation, much rather than actually seeing and experiencing the actions that this man is saying that he's going to do.
Well,
Other
there's research behind that as well, though. Like Pew Research put out a study that said the people that are more loud on social medias and digital anyway are actually the most insecure and unstable. So that's just massive low emotional intelligence for men and women, women who look for that and men who put that out.
So you said that he had her dressed in some lingerie as a screensaver?
Bro, he had her. I can't remember exactly, because when I saw it, I knew it was her, and it was like, I looked and then looked away because all I seen was titties in the picture. So I'm like, damn, like, bro, real life got his girl. Like, this is supposed to be his girl. You got your girl on your screensaver on your phone, you know what I'm saying, for anybody to see. You know, me personally, I've never been into being with a woman that isn't modest in public. So if the last thing that I would do is put a provocative picture on my phone for anybody to see at any random moment. You know what I'm saying? That's for me in my eyes. But to put it on your screensaver, that's some what's our boy name? Derek Jackson type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them type of vibes. I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Okay.
Anybody I don't agree. Yeah, wow, that's my bad. Go ahead. I know everybody talk. No, if everybody talk, I was gonna say I don't agree with Viz. I mean, if I'm dealing with a real woman who I consider a real woman, and my fiance now, I shared everything. But I'm not gonna tell a hoe shit. A hoe don't deserve no truth. I'm gonna lie to a hoe, because that's what a hoe deserves. Now, my woman, my lady, the woman who I'm gonna bless with my last name, she gonna know everything. Why wouldn't I tell her that? Why wouldn't I share that with her? Why wouldn't I share my goals, my aspiration? Look, that lets me know she's real. First of all, because she got some type of standards. She should know how I want to move, how I want to act. If I'm not the type of man that she won't be with, then she shouldn't be with me. And if she don't want to know a man's a plan, objective, what's going on, what are we doing, what's the plan for the next 5 years? Yeah, that ain't the type of woman I want. And I'm teaching my son the same thing. Why would you want a woman not want to be inquisitive and know about what's your plan for me as a woman? You sound like a fool if you don't want to inquire about that. But if you just want to fly by your seat and live life like you want to live, you know what? Say YOLO. Do they still talk? Do they still say shit? I don't know. I'm old. I don't know. But if that's how they want to, then she ain't shit. I'm just fucking on her. It's obvious what she's about. She just enjoying living life. Cool. I'm gonna oblige you by knocking you down, but I'm not gonna take you serious. I just need you when I'm desperate. When I'm dry dicking it ain't no and I can't get pulled nothing in the club because I got rejected. So guess what? I'm gonna
Hey, Hick, I got a question though.
I ain't doing that shit in 2024. I'm just talking about what I used to do.
Right, but Hick, though, are you going to even tell a short-term woman your goals? You know what I'm saying? That's you're not even going to tell her. So
you didn't hear what I said. You didn't hear what I said, Viz.
No,
a short-term goal. No. A short-term a woman gonna get a lie. The long-term woman gonna get everything and all things.
That's not keeping it player though, Hank.
Oh yeah, yes it is. Why am I investing my time and energy and tell you everything I'm gonna do if you ain't gonna be around for 3 months?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Why even tell her the goals if you know that she's not gonna be around? Like I'm
not telling her nothing. She gets lies. She gets nothing from me, but some dick. That's it. Now I told you when I took the turn, the long-term woman gets everything from me. She gonna know all the information she needs to know. The long term. The wife. Not the high school sweetheart girlfriend that I know we wasn't gonna make it. Because once I got to college, it's a new crop of heifers. And I'm gonna deal with it.
Oh. Anybody got anything else?
I would like to hear Jay perspective.
So are you singling everybody else out? I mean,
no, I spoke on
all of the men. Like I didn't hear Jay's perspective.
Yeah, I think Jay went first.
I went first. Yeah, I went first. I just said, you're not going to use your you're not going to waste your time sharing that with somebody that's not going to be around. But I also said that a lot of men will use those long-term plans as a way to make a woman drop her guard, to make her feel like she's going to be around for longer than she really is. That's all. It's a tactic.
I could see some truth in that. Also, sometimes because some people show up with their representatives, I think you may disclose or you can picture a future with somebody, but then as you guys continue to date, you should decide to pull back a little bit, or you like, well, I didn't see this a couple months ago, or I haven't seen this person react this way, or I never know they thought like this because
I
you
think
guys
so.
were never put in that situation. So even though you include them, or it sounds good, because people first meet, everything sound good, look good, and then once you start to get some of that time, because time reveals everything, then you have to reevaluate that future, that possibility of even having a future. And then you got to start measuring if you're going to be able, if this is something that you can deal with for the rest of your life, because this is new developing information that has been brought to the table. So everything is always situational. It's never absolute. But when it does happen, when it does get exposed, it's just like, then that's when you need to be more upfront about it, or either ask the right questions to see if this is something that you can align yourself with. Once you go ahead and get that bond, then it might be too late. But the quicker you can learn and experience those conflicts and tough conversations, you got to understand in person. Then sometimes people have no problem adjusting to whatever it may be if you guys are applying logic. But when somebody is stuck on their feelings and they're going to be who they are regardless and not want to factor in how you feel about it, then that's going to probably be a difficult person. And one of the things you want to look at too is seeing if people are consistent throughout other aspects of their life. Because usually somebody that's not consistent with everything else, they're not going to be consistent in their relationship either. If they flip flopping about what it is that they want to do, their future, they sound like they're all over the place with their jobs. They seem down all the time. Everything's always a problem. They always complaining all the damn time. You'll be on the phone with somebody and they just be like, oh my God. I'd be like, I just cringe because it just keep coming. Keep coming. It's like, damn, are you happy? Can you deal with anything? Like you haven't figured out that life is up and down? Like you act like you caught by surprise every time something happened. It's something real simple. Like a damn Cheerio can fall off the damn counter. Oh my God. I just cleaned up.
I have a question real quick that I think from Hank, but I guess as men getting your feedback from it. So Hank said, and Jay as well, both said that men will definitely lie, right? So he may pretend that he's including her in long-term plans, but she's a temporary chick. So for a woman that may be listening or in a situation and don't know, when you say temporary, how long is temporary? Because there are men that kind of drag that out for a little, like Hank said, 3 months or something like that. But then you have somebody that will stay in a relationship for 2-3 years and they're talking about plans. So what advice can you give a woman to kind of detect, like, am I temporary or not? Because you're lying. So she's kind of going by that. And if you're pretending, then I would think that some of your actions are going to kind of be in sync with what you're saying, just so you can make sure that you keep her on a string.
I mean, first you would definitely look at his actions. I mean, because his mouth could say 1,000 things, but you focus on the actions. Nobody is going to put any sweat equity into something that they don't plan on being around. And you figure out if his actions are aligned with things that you've mentioned that you want or that you like or that you're looking into, because people are not looking to waste their time and put energy into things that they feel are a waste of time. I would say, and hold them accountable. Hold them accountable in terms of if they said something that they were going to do or they plan to have you around, hold them accountable with things that tie you into being around, meaning like a joint account or they wanted to invest in a property together or something like that. If this is what they're bringing to you, if this is, pinpoint the things that indicate that they plan to have you around and hold them to that. And if you notice that it's like a bunch of excuses or it's a bunch of, lip service and they're not showing the actions behind it, then, they probably bullshitting you. They're probably bullshitting you.
Yep. Did I answer your question, mistaken? Okay. Everything's always situational, though, so always keep that in mind. I think if you apply logic, I mean, anything over a year, if y'all not moving in a certain direction, I think it's probably safe to say that it probably may not go nowhere. If you have to look for clarification or there's still some confusion, after 6 months to a year, then I think you can answer the question yourself. But I do think the older you get, people feel that pressure. They feel that pressure to want to build life with someone. So I think older folks that's dating older folks, when they are dating, they typically understand what time it is. Sometimes men need a little bit of time, because they're unsure. They don't want to let that person go because it's still a possibility, but they're just waiting, just waiting to see if they can see a little sign that might just be a little bit more clear for them. So yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
No, like you were saying, like when you date a person, more things, like you said, start off with the representative, I make 90K a year, I'm doing this, then, more is revealed and you like, damn, this is $375,000 in debt, of school loans, credit cards, etc. Like, I like you, but there's no way in hell that I'm tying myself to that. So I could have thought you were long term, but now these debts and shit is revealed and foreclosures and shit. I'm not attaching myself to that, especially if I've done everything right. On my end, that would be absurd. Nobody in their right mind would work hard for their credit score or their account and then attach them to somebody who did the total opposite. But that's not revealed up front. Nobody's coming to you like, hey, I got 375 in debt. Nobody's coming to you like, yo, I got 7 foreclosures.
And then also something to keep in mind too is that everybody you meet doesn't necessarily have to end up in a relationship. Usually everybody comes together because there's a form of an attraction of some sort. That's how everybody know each other. So when I hear people say, oh, that person doesn't, oh, they're just a friend, there was an attraction there of some sort, whether it been personality, looks, the style of conversations they have, whether they're in the same field and they're very successful. Like there's an attraction there. That's how you guys came together. But it doesn't mean that it have to be romance. It have to be romantic. It have to end in marriage. So sometimes you need a little bit of time to see a little bit more data that you got to collect, a little bit more personality traits. You just got to try to figure it out. And because we are all different, who's to say that whatever time you figure it out is the same as mine? You might got a little bit more urgency because all your peers around you, they're getting married and you feel like you are behind in life and behind when it comes to doing life. But that may not be for that guy. That guy may be just got into his bag and his purpose. And so now he's looking to date and he's looking to try to find the right one. Some people don't want to repeat the same mistakes though. So, but that's conversations you got to have, and these things will be revealed if you ask the right questions, if you guys go deep, have deeper conversations with these people. So you got to give a little bit of grace when it comes to dating because dating is tough. And if you are back on the dating scene, it is tough for some folks. You got to understand that the world is constantly changing and mindsets are changing right along with it. A lot of people don't have the same mindset as some of the people did in the past. So you got to understand how they've been conditioned, whether it be upbringing, trauma, experiences. If anybody is single now, 9 times out of 10, if they don't had like 4 or 5 relationships in the past 5 years, they got some form of trauma. They're not married, they're not still with that person. So they're going through some things because it was an unsuccessful relationship. And they may say that it wasn't their fault, but you got to, unless you're able to hear both sides, you got to take that with a grain of salt. It's a possibility that it wasn't them, but you just got to just do more listening than talking. And then you got to start looking at how they move. And then you can kind of come to some type of conclusion about it. But just keep that in the back of your mind as you out here dating, because it ain't nothing easy.